This is from my upcoming book, and it's called The Confession. I must confess that it was I who did not let sleeping dogs lie. I should know better, I really oughter. I'm the one who took the fish out of water. I must be honest and not tell a lie. I attached the wings and made pigs fly. Yes, it was me, I don't mean to brag. I'm the one who let the cat out of the bag. And one day, when I lost track, that's why the monkey was on my back. Then finally, just to lift the gloom, I hid the elephant in the room. I really didn't mean to cause any harm, but they still fired me from the small breeds farm. Have a great day. Daffodils. To the hospital my friend they did bring, as he ate what he should not be eating. Made him very ill, 50 bulbs of daffodil. Apparently he'll be out around spring. Have a great day. God's throne. A cat sat by God's throne and did stare. God was quite shocked to see him just there. God said, your place is secure. How could you want any more? The cat said, excuse me, but you're sat in my chair. Have a great day. Calculus. A few drinks helped me feel alive. Had a calculus exam to survive. When the results came through, I've been graded as you, proving you should never drink and derive. Have a great day. This one's called aging. The signs I'm getting older are constantly around. Now when I stand up, I make a grunting sound. If I am out driving around my local town, to help me see more clearly, I turn the radio right down. I've also noticed changes that have happened physically to me. It's no longer left and right, but the good or broken knee. When I'm watching telly, my ears I no longer trust. Even to hear the loudest thing, the subtitles are a must. I used to go out drinking and partying every night. Now if I don't sleep properly, it's a week before I'm right. One of the strangest things I've noticed is when winter's in the air, somehow I just can't get warm. There are drafts everywhere. Have a great day. Petrol prices. The price of petrol was a kick in the gut, but determined not to get in the rut, I put gin in the mower. It made it a little slower, but at least the grass is half cut. Have a great day. Dearest Prime Minister. My dearest Prime Minister, there's a question I'd like to ask. It shouldn't take you too long. It's not a monumental task. I thought there was an agreement between the government and me. If I paid all my car taxes, you'd keep the roads pothole free. Like many other people, I've kept my end of the deal, but I'm noticing less tarmac now passing underneath each wheel. Every year I have to take my car for a stringent MOT so that I can promptly drive it on roads that are unworthy. I understand you've been busy, having to fake lots of smiles as you work out how many ministers are actually in the Epstein files. This I'm sure has not helped, and it's got you in a muddle, yet when I'm driving in the rain I play a game called Pothole or Puddle. I don't want you to think of me as some ungrateful little toad. I would just like you to answer for me why there are now more potholes than road. Have a great day. This one's called Struck Off. A doctor was distraught with regret about relations with a patient he met. He knew it was wrong, but his feelings were too strong. He's now banned from practicing as a vet. Have a great day. The bank robber. A bank robber's preparations were done, so into the bank he did run. There were laughter and howls as he stood holding both barrels. He'd sawn the wrong end off his gun. Thanks for listening. The doctor's appointment. I finally saw my doctor today. I was so nervous about what to say. So quick as a flash, I just showed him my rash. He just grabbed his shopping and ran away. Have a great day. The hamster. Mr. Thomas was in his garden, just quietly sipping a beer, when he became intrigued by a noise that he could hear. Upon investigation, he located the source of the sound. His neighbour's little daughter was digging a hole in the ground. That's a big hole. Are you making yourself a pond? No, it's for my hamster, who's gone to the great beyond. Oh, that's very sad, but unfortunately pets do die, you see. You shouldn't get attached to them. That's the rule with me. Anyway, that does not explain a hole of that size. A hamster's not that big. I hope you do now realise. Ah, Mr. Thomas, I completely agree with all of that. The reason that the hole's so big is my hamster's in your cat. The masseuse. I got fired as a masseuse today. Got told leave, here's your pay. I asked my boss why. She said I can't lie. You just rubbed everyone up the wrong way. Have a great day. The sex clinic. My results from the sex clinic were due. The doctor phoned me just after 2. He said there's no cure. No one's seen this before, but they're naming the disease after you. Have a great day. The white hair. A man found a white pubic hair. He looked at it with utter despair. He was overcome with grief. It was beyond belief. And the waitress, she didn't even care. Have a great day. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh was feeling a bit crummy as he sat with his hands on his tummy. He was feeling really sad. He missed Piglet like mad. But boy, that bacon sandwich was yummy. Have a great day. The Tanker. A tanker company tried something new, hiring small mothers out of the blue. They said, we're no fools, we're just following the rules. Every ship requires a minimum crew. Have a great day. Good morning, everyone. It's a bit murky here, so I thought I'd try and cheer us all up with a bit of a ditty. Here's The Farmer. A farmer took on an apprentice to help him run his farm. The lass was very eager, so it worked just like a charm. He showed her how to milk a cow and drive a tractor too. The girl was quite an asset. There was nothing she couldn't do. One day she turned to him and said, this cow seems rather full. He said, be careful milking that one, dear. We call that one the bull. Have a great day. The Seance. There in the gloom in the psychic's room, I felt nervous beyond compare. Holding hands tight, trying to do it right, the medium asked, who's there? The medium swayed, we all prayed, and the medium went into a trance. She said she'd stern, with eyes that burn, and that she loved to dance. Dad said, oh hell, that's Auntie Nell. Her Tourette's will make this tense, sir. The medium shook, shot Dad a look, and said, don't worry, I can sense her. Have a great day. This one's called Dinner. I had a cooked dinner for my mate. He invited himself over quite late. As we sat eating tea, he said, your dog's staring at me. I said, I'm not surprised, you're using his plate. Have a great day. The Inkling. My time in my job had expired. No longer did I feel required. Between me and you, my boss knew too, especially as he announced I was fired. Have a great day. The Stray. Mrs. Jones, come on through and bring your lovely hound. Just wondering, Mrs. Jones, does he always make that sound? Yes, Mrs. Jones, I agree he's lovely and this will be a treat. Just wondering, Mrs. Jones, have you noticed his big feet? So he's ignored all his training and does whatever he does please. No, Mrs. Jones, it's not normal for dogs to be climbing trees. Yes, Mrs. Jones's teeth are extremely large indeed. Please tell me on what exactly does little Fido feed? I must agree, Mrs. Jones, he does have an enormous snout, but everything about him is enormous. Of that there is no doubt. No, I haven't ever seen a dog with such humongous paws. However, I've never seen a dog with such gigantic claws. Yes, it is interesting that he only ever growls. Normally it'll be interspersed with some barking and some howls. No, it's not normal for dogs to raid your neighbour's trash, nor to be hit by a car and somehow win the crash. Oh, don't worry about my assistant. He often gets into a flap. Now tell me, Mrs. Jones, where did you acquire this lovely chap? You were in the woods, just wandering about one day, when you just happened upon this poor, hapless stray. Now sit, Mrs. Jones, sit down. I have some news to break. I've assessed him fully, and there can be no mistake. I must admit I was suspicious when I saw you in the hall. I could see he weighed over 600 pounds, and he stood 8 foot tall. You see, Mrs. Jones, that lovely beast sitting there is not a little doggo, but a proper grizzly bear. No, being honest, I don't know what to do. My only suggestion is you take him to the zoo. Have a great day.